We have multiple winter storms over the next 7 to 10 days as much colder air moves in. Let's take a look at the water vapor imagery this afternoon. You can see that further south, we have an orange shaded area, which represents a dry slot that's been affecting a large portion of the southern plains. However, up here across the Ohio Valley and into the Northeast, we had some icing events that impacted parts of the Ohio Valley with more significant ice across areas of West Virginia. That system has now moved off the coastline. We saw some snow in New York City this morning, and it's currently snowing in Boston. Snow continues in Maine, but there's another system coming ashore right now in Northern California that will feed our weekend system across the north. Additionally, there's another system trailing behind that one and possibly yet another system after that. You can definitely see it's going to be a very active period. If you're new to the channel and enjoy detailed weather breakdowns, hit the subscribe button to get all my daily content and stay well ahead of the storm. Here's your overall hazard map for this afternoon. We have winter weather advisories and winter storm warnings in place for areas of Northern California. Where they aren't getting heavy rain off the coast, they're getting heavy snow in the mountain regions, which continues inland. We also have a more significant setup with a blizzard warning for parts of the Dakotas. Expect a decent amount of snow for your weekend across the Dakotas, Minnesota, and Wisconsin. There's also ongoing weather activity in New England and portions of the Northeast with winter weather advisories in place. Here's the weekend system. A conveyor belt of moisture is coming in off the West Coast. We have ridging locked over Alaska with cold air trapped underneath. Additionally, we're locked into a zonal flow that's been consistent all week, keeping the warmer anomalies alive further south. This ongoing pattern will continue through the weekend across the north, which is why we have winter weather advisories for heavier snow likely to unfold. As we move into tomorrow, the system is coming ashore. There's more heavy rain for Northern California and Southern Oregon, but snow is intensifying as it moves into Idaho, Montana, and Wyoming. This will help generate more atmospheric instability, which is why we have blizzard warnings in parts of the Dakotas, with heavier snow expected to impact Minnesota. We also have another system winding down from the first winter storm, with a second system arriving for the weekend. Notice further south, we have a stalled frontal boundary, which is your zonal flow. This keeps the warm and muggy air mass further south, while colder conditions are found to the north. Heading into Saturday and the weekend, the conveyor belt of moisture continues to push across Minnesota and Wisconsin. We could see a more significant swath of heavy snow across central Minnesota and Wisconsin, which will move over Michigan, New York, upstate New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Connecticut, and especially Maine. Expect more significant snow in these areas. Further south, unfortunately, this brings glazing of ice to portions of Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, and areas that were recently impacted by this storm. More significant icing could affect West Virginia, Maryland, the DC area, Delaware, and New Jersey. These areas are susceptible to more freezing rain, though the stalled frontal boundary won't shift south until Sunday. Here's your weekend snowfall. The snow coming in between tomorrow and Sunday is associated with the system coming off the West Coast. Areas highlighted in pink could see double-digit snowfall totals just for the weekend from Friday through Sunday. North Dakota could get 6 to 10 inches with similar totals across Minnesota and Wisconsin. Michigan could see 4 to 6 inches of snow statewide, with heavier snow moving into New England. It's going to be a healthy snowstorm, and some areas could see double-digit totals. A wide swath of 6 to 10 inches is expected just for the weekend. And don't forget the ice with this system. It's not just snow. It's also important to note that more icing could occur across the same general areas of the Ohio Valley, particularly into the mid-Atlantic, including Maryland and Pennsylvania. Some areas could experience up to a 1/4 inch of ice accumulation, again, especially in parts of New Jersey. This could cause significant problems, not just on the roads, but also for power lines over the weekend. By Sunday, the cold front will finally break the atmospheric block that has been in place all week, allowing colder air to push further south. These are the actual high temperatures for Sunday, and there will be a drastic change, especially for areas across Texas. We could see record highs of 85 degrees Fahrenheit on Saturday, followed by a 40-degree drop, with some places in North Texas not even breaking the 40s. Arkansas, Louisiana, and Mississippi will also feel this cold front in a big way. This marks the start of a significant shift, with colder air continuing to press south. By Monday night, another disturbance will move in from the south, bringing rain showers to the south, including chilly rain that could transition into ice, particularly in Oklahoma, Arkansas, Tennessee, and Kentucky. Further north, snow will be the dominant precipitation type, including in Nebraska, Kansas, and Missouri. Meanwhile, areas like Austin, Dallas, and East Texas will experience chilly rain, and parts of the south, such as Shreveport, will be similarly affected by the colder conditions. Looking ahead to early next week, we'll see more chilly rain in the south, but to the north, it will be all snow. Another system will be trailing behind by Wednesday, about 6 days from now. This system could bring more snow to the Texas Panhandle, even causing icing with the arrival of colder air in the Red River area. Oklahoma, Arkansas, Missouri, and Illinois could experience a mix of snow and ice, especially as the system continues to move northeast. It will likely be all snow in New York, Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Vermont, and New Hampshire. Meanwhile, out west, there's been a series of atmospheric river events impacting Oregon and Northern California, but another significant event could impact Southern California around the 13th. We could see the heaviest rain they've had in months, potentially causing extensive flooding and mudslides as the storm may arrive too quickly. The east will continue to experience relentless icing and heavy snow. This atmospheric river event will likely be the most significant for Southern California in quite some time. As we approach Thursday, February 13th, much of the country will be feeling the effects of the colder air mass that has been locked up to the north. Southeastern areas, including much of Florida, may miss the brunt of this colder air. However, Southern California will see significant rainfall, with preliminary amounts from model guidance showing 2 to 4 inches of rain in some areas. Even half an inch is considered a lot of rain for this region, so it's going to be a noteworthy event. Southern California really hasn't had much rain lately, and they desperately need it. However, they don't necessarily need this much this soon. This could cause significant issues, but we could be looking at 2 to 3 inches of rain in areas like San Diego, a couple of inches in Oceanside, and over 4 inches in Los Angeles. This would be a major event as we head into next Thursday. The system will also move across the Four Corners region, the Panhandle, and through Oklahoma, heading toward the Ohio Valley and Mid-Atlantic regions around Valentine's Day. There's more ice expected as well. This will be a combination of icing that will affect a broad area, possibly extending into parts of Texas by Tuesday and Wednesday of next week, including Oklahoma and Arkansas. A little further south, areas in Tennessee, North Carolina, and Virginia could experience icing as well, and Pennsylvania is also at risk. Here's the ice forecast for the next 7 to 10 days, as well as the snow swath. This is from the National Blend, which combines all models, including the European GFS and Canadian models, giving a more conservative view. The totals in pink could reach double digits over a widespread area. There are also some areas marked in white that could receive over 2 feet of snow, including parts of the Boston region, which could see up to 22 inches over the next 7 to 10 days. Significant snow totals are expected across the north central U.S., the Ohio Valley, and into the Mid-Atlantic, especially in the Northeast. Here's the precipitation forecast for the next 7 to 10 days. The West Coast will be pounded by system after system, and by Thursday, the storm will move further south, bringing rain inland. Most of this precipitation will fall as snow in the higher elevations. A dry slot will affect much of New Mexico, West Texas, and parts of western Kansas and eastern Colorado, missing out on most of the storm. However, as the system moves east of the I-35 corridor, heavier rains will move through Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, and Tennessee, with some of it potentially mixed with ice, especially in Kentucky. We also had a tornado watch this morning with several tornado warnings and damage reported overnight. The National Weather Service is currently surveying the damage to determine if tornadoes were responsible. Leave a comment below if you have any questions, and I'll make sure to answer them after the video. I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of their Wednesday.